Hello, welcome. In this tutorial we're going to cover how to add dialogues to our characters. That's basically how we make our characters speak and lip sync. So I'm going to open the Unity project and the Unity scene. Right now I am using the Interaction Manager example scene. So everything is already configured. For more information on how to configure this, you can watch one of the previous tutorials which will walk you through how to put your own characters and basically all these modules that you see around. But for now, let's just assume that the scene is configured. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to undo my latest events here, just to start from scratch. And we're going to go to timeline here in the scene. This is what's going to control all of our events. Now the event that we're interested in right now is Dialog. We have a lot to choose from. We're going to choose Dialog and we're just going to add an event. And when I do that, you can see that a dialog was added right here. Now this dialog was automatically added with whatever agent I have here. This is my character basically. And the event ID is basically the sequence starting at 0. You go 0, 1, 2. This character, it's already configured, it's here, but the system supports multiple characters, and if you want, you can also change them here in the actual dialogue. So you could just drag and drop a different character. Now, to make our characters talk, there are two ways of doing this. One is by adding an audio file. I can just click here, see all the audio files that are in my scene, and put it here. I can also go into the folder where I have all my dialogues and basically drag it and drop it. Or I can type the name of my dialogue here. This is an either or, so you don't have to do both. For now, I'll just leave the audio file, and this should make her talk. Another thing worth reminding everyone is that every single item here has tooltips, so you'll see if it's a mandatory thing and basically what goes into that field. The dialog text, it could be just basically a reference. This is for you to know what the dialogues are actually saying. So when you have a ton of dialogues and you want to debug or see what this audio file is, this is for you, the developer. In the future, hopefully we can make when Unity includes their text-to-speech synthesizer, we can synthesize this so that you can prototype easily. And finally, the bargain. The bargain is optional. Basically, I would define here an event ID. Right now I don't have an event ID 3, but let's assume that I had a ton of events. And this is basically what happens if you interrupt the character in the middle of a sentence. Now, if you don't put anything here, the character cannot listen to anything while the character is speaking. If you go into the character, there is a status manager, and basically it records the status of the character is speaking, is listening. Normally when it's speaking, that is when it's in a dialogue, it's not listening. The only way it will listen is if you put a barge in jump ID. Now basically this is to interrupt it and jump there. The reason why the characters usually don't listen while they're speaking is so that if you're using speakers and a microphone instead of a headset, the characters don't listen to themselves and then they start a monologue. Alright, one last thing, there is a folder down here called resources with the sample project, and in this case we have dialogues here. Here's where you would put every single dialogue from all of your characters. This is so that the project knows where to find the dialogue and configures itself. Also, not in this tutorial, but if you're wondering how the lip sync works, it's using OVR lip sync. It's a plugin from Oculus. And basically our dialogues are simply accessing that plugin. For more information on how to install OVR lip sync from Oculus, just check the links below or watch the configuration tutorial. So for now I'm just going to test it, play it.
Let me guess. You're here on behalf of the council.
Alright, and that is playing a dialogue. And you can see when she starts talking, is speaking will enable.
Let me guess. You're here on behalf of the council.
And then she's done. Now the small pause at the beginning, it's just because of the audio file. And this basically covers everything there is to know about dialogues. You could always go to timeline, add another dialogue, and then type the other name, or change the character, the agent, add bargain, whatever. If you don't specify anything, they'll just be run in sequence, and you can have as many dialogues as you want.